5 alcohols to avoid after 60, and what to drink instead for longevity. After 60, every sip matters more than ever. That glass of wine or evening cocktail may not be as harmless as you think. In fact, it could be quietly draining your energy, thinning your bones, fogging your mind, and accelerating the very aging you're trying to slow down. After 60, your body handles alcohol differently. Your liver processes it slower. Your brain becomes more sensitive, and even your joints and immune system start to feel the toll. Yet no one told you. They said, drink in moderation. But what if moderation becomes a moving target when your mornings feel groggy and your body feels older than it should? This video isn't about giving up alcohol. It's about drinking smarter, so you protect your brain, balance, energy, and longevity. You're about to discover 5 alcohols to avoid after 60, and the better, body-respecting alternatives that help you enjoy life without the silent damage. Stay with me, because what's in your glass could either age you or help you age gracefully. Her fingers trembled slightly as she reached for her glass, then stopped. It was Merlot, her favorite, but she remembered her doctor's warning, no alcohol, especially at your age. With a reluctant smile, she placed the glass back down on the tablecloth at her niece's wedding reception. A moment later, her 70-year-old neighbor, Joan, laughed with ease from across the room, lifting a crystal flute of dry champagne to her lips, glowing, standing tall in heels, skin radiant, eyes clear. What was going on here? 2 women, similar ages, one declining joy to follow a rule, the other sipping without fear, yet somehow feeling stronger, more mobile, more present than ever before. This wasn't just a glass of wine. This was the collision of fear and freedom. Because somewhere along the way, alcohol stopped being about pleasure and became a symbol of danger. A risk, a fear trigger. We were told it ruins the liver, ages the skin, fogs the brain. And yes, some of it does. But what if that's not the full picture? Let's start by peeling back the labels and revealing what's quietly working against you, masked as moderation. Here are the alcohols to avoid. 1. Cheap red wines. They might seem romantic, even healthy, some bottles boasting antioxidant benefits and heart-protective polyphenol. But many of these wines are overloaded with histamines, sulfites, and residual sugars. Add to that pesticide residue, and you're looking at a nightly trigger for inflammation, brain fog, and sleeplessness. That glass that used to relax you, it now leaves you wired and groggy. What if the real danger is believing that your body is too fragile to enjoy anything anymore? We've been conditioned to think of aging as a process of restriction. Don't drink that. Cut that out. Watch your sugar. Avoid fat. It's as if living longer is only possible through saying no until life itself becomes something to manage, not to savor. But Joan, lifting her glass, was living proof that joy and health can coexist, that it's not always about what we take away. It's about what we choose to include wisely. She wasn't alcohol sensitive. She was informed. She knew what her body tolerated. She knew what science actually said. And more importantly, she knew how to listen to how she felt the next morning, not just what she'd read in a magazine 20 years ago. That's the emotional tension so many people over 60 live with right now. Do I toast with the family? Or do I fear it will damage my heart? Do I sip something to relax? Or will it worsen my inflammation? Do I trust my body or my doctor's outdated checklist? And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most doctors are trained in disease management, not in aging optimization. The generic no alcohol rule may apply broadly, but longevity, resilience, and even pleasure are far more nuanced. Here is the second alcohol to avoid. 2. Sweet liqueurs. Think of them as sugar grenades. These creamy, syrupy drinks go down smooth, but hit your liver hard. The combo of sugar plus alcohol is a double punch to your insulin response, and over time, accelerates joint pain, fatigue, and belly fat gain. And the worst part? You barely realize it's happening. You're about to get the truth that most doctors don't even discuss and that the alcohol industry hopes you never hear. Because sometimes the biggest change doesn't come from cutting things out. It comes from choosing better. After 60, you don't need to drink less, you need to drink wiser. What if your glass didn't have to come with guilt? What if, instead of fearing your evening routine, you adjusted what you poured into the glass so that it supported your brain, your joints, and your gut microbiome, instead of draining them? I'll soon reveal the rest of the alcohol drinks that truly erode your longevity after 60, and some of them might surprise you. But I'll also reveal the hidden gems, the sips that don't just avoid damage, they actually support your aging body. This story of a woman declining wine while another thrived with it isn't about rebellion. It's about recognizing the difference between restriction and refinement, between fear in your body and knowing it. She wasn't alcohol sensitive. She was misinformed about what her body needed. She didn't give up alcohol. She gave up guesswork. Because when you turn 60, alcohol doesn't just interact with your body differently. So does fear. And so does joy. So let's rewrite the script. Let's not just count drinks. Let's count on our wisdom to guide what's worth sipping and what's best left behind. It starts subtle. You wake up the next morning after just one glass, something you used to handle with ease. But now your head feels heavier, your body slower, your thoughts foggy. You blame it on aging, but then it happens again and again. Until eventually, a quiet voice settles into your mornings. Maybe I just can't enjoy life like I used to. This isn't just about alcohol. It's about the shame we're made to feel when our body starts responding differently, and no one tells us why. The fatigue, the joint stiffness, the brain fog that makes you reread the same sentence 3 times. You're told it's just getting older. You're told to cut it out, but you're not told what to reach for instead. And that's the wound. Because when you're over 60, it's not just about the sip, it's about what it symbolizes. Relaxation, celebration, inclusion. A glass of something in your hand used to mean you were part of the moment. Now it feels like you're negotiating with your body just to feel okay the next day. And the worst part? No one gives you the map. You're left with vague advice like avoid alcohol or limit your intake, but what kind? Why? And what if there's a difference between something that depletes your energy and something that supports your microbiome, circulation, and cognitive clarity? Because there is a difference. One kind of drink might inflame your joints. Another might support your cardiovascular health when used intentionally. One might damage your liver. Another might boost nitric oxide and blood flow. But if no one tells you this nuance, how would you ever know? Instead, you're left standing in the kitchen with a glass of guilt instead of a glass of grace. And here's what's even more painful, feeling like you're being punished by age instead of empowered by knowledge. You followed the rules. You listened to the experts. But no one explained why. No one sat you down and said, your body isn't betraying you. It's trying to communicate. And that's where everything changes. Because what if aging isn't about removing pleasure, but refining it? What if it's not about saying no to the glass, but saying yes to the one that fits your body's chemistry, your current rhythm of life, your deeper wisdom? No more shame, no more guesswork, just wisdom in every sip. This isn't about preaching abstinence. It's about reclaiming choice. It's about knowing exactly which 5 drinks might be robbing your brain of clarity, your skin of vitality, your joints of ease, and which alternatives can support longevity without sacrificing the joy of sipping something satisfying at the end of the day. Because you deserve to feel included. You deserve to raise a glass without lowering your vitality. And when you're informed, not afraid, something powerful happens. You stop tiptoeing around the dinner table. You stop punishing yourself for pleasure. You stop feeling like your body is fragile. You begin to feel strong, clear, capable. You stop asking, can I handle this? And start asking, what will support me today? So let's keep going, because in just a few minutes, you'll know the 5 drinks to swap and 5 smarter sips that might just surprise you. You haven't lost your power. You're about to take it back. You were told to stay away from whiskey, but no one warned you about the wine. Not the wine filled with trace pesticide residue. Not the wine loaded with sulfites and fining agents you can't pronounce. Not the so-called clean wine that's still pumped with additives to manipulate flavor, texture, and shelf life. Because the truth is, what's in the bottle isn't always what's on the label. And after 60, your body doesn't metabolize these secrets the same way it used to. This is the betrayal. We've been sold images, sun-soaked vineyards, elegant stemware, laughter around charcuterie boards, but not the whole story. While we were told red wine is heart-healthy, no one explained that most mass-market reds are sprayed with up to 15 different synthetic chemicals before the grapes are even pressed. No one mentioned that sulfites, used to preserve and stabilize color, can cause histamine reactions, flushes, and brain fog. Or that low-calorie cocktails often swap sugar for synthetic sweeteners that wreak havoc on your gut. They slapped labels on bottles like light, organic, gluten-free, or keto-approved, as if that somehow erased what happens inside your liver, your bones, your sleep, and your clarity. They warned her about whiskey, but handed her wine laced with pesticide residue. She didn't need less joy. She needed better information. Because it's not about the alcohol itself, it's about the kind, the dose, and the context. Like this video if you've ever felt judged for what's in your glass. Comment if you're ready to drink to feel alive, not just to unwind. And tell us, what are you sipping tonight that you're proud of? Your body over 60 is not the same body it was at 30. Liver enzymes slow. Hormonal shifts change how your body processes alcohol. Hydration and mineral absorption become more delicate. And alcohol's effect on neurotransmitters becomes more profound, especially when sleep is already fragile. So when someone says, it's just one drink, what they're really saying is, it's just one more hit to your mitochondria, one more nudge toward inflammation. One more drop in a cup your body can no longer buffer the same way. And yet, here's the awakening. The problem isn't alcohol. The problem is one-size-fits-all rules. Yes, some drinks inflame, but some, when chosen wisely and consumed with food, can actually support cardiovascular function, stimulate digestion, and even boost nitric oxide, the compound that keeps your blood vessels supple and your brain alert. It's not just about removing the glass. It's about replacing the deception inside it. You don't have to fear every pour. You just have to become wiser about the ones that serve you. You can let go of the guilt, not the glass. You can still toast, laugh, gather, and celebrate, but with ingredients and habits that extend your clarity, rather than cloud it. And that's where your power returns. Because once you realize that you were never the problem, it was the products, the marketing, the missing context, you stop blaming yourself. You stop fearing the moments that were meant to nourish your spirit. And you begin to rebuild a new narrative, one where what's in your glass supports what's in your future. So in a moment, we're going to break down the other alcohols that may be silently draining you, and the smart swaps that can add vibrancy back into your evenings and energy into your mornings. But before we do, take a deep breath. You're not here to give up life. You're here to reclaim it, one informed sip at a time. Let's turn the page together. You don't need to give up your favorite evening routine. You just need to understand what's actually inside your glass. Because after 60, the way your body processes alcohol changes, not just a little, but dramatically. Your liver isn't as forgiving, your joints feel it faster, and your brain fog doesn't clear the way it used to. But that doesn't mean alcohol is the enemy. It just means we need to become allies with the right kind. Here are the other alcohols to avoid. 3 low-calorie skinny cocktails. The word skinny sells, but what's inside often includes chemical mixers, artificial sweeteners, and preservatives. These guilt-free drinks disrupt gut bacteria, spike cortisol, and make you feel hungover even after one glass. It's not the alcohol that hurts. It's the toxic entourage it travels with. 4. Mass market beers. One word, float. Loaded with gluten, preservatives, and additives like propylene glycol alginate. These beers aren't the crisp refreshers they once were. After 60, they create puffiness, joint inflammation, and can mess with your hormones. It's not beer that's the problem. It's this kind of beer. 5. Flavored spirits blue raspberry vodka. Pumpkin spice rum. If it tastes like candy, it's probably hiding a chemical cocktail of artificial colors, fragrance agents, and sweeteners. They don't just dull your senses, they age your brain. Fast. But here's the empowering truth. You don't need to swear off alcohol to stay sharp, balanced, and vibrant. You just need to swap mindless, sipping for conscious selection. Because these next 5 choices, they give back. Here are 5 alcohols to drink with intention. 1. Organic dry red wine made without pesticide-treated grapes, low in sugar and rich in resveratrol, a plant compound linked to reduced inflammation, better heart health, and improved circulation. Sip it slowly, pair it with healthy fats, and you may even help your arteries, not hurt them. 2. Clean tequila, 100% blue agave. Surprise! Tequila is one of the least glycemic spirits, meaning it doesn't spike your blood sugar the way others do. When sourced clean and enjoyed straight or with mineral water, it supports a calmer insulin response and can even aid digestion. 3. Kombucha cocktails probiotic. Light, naturally fermented. Kombucha mixed with a splash of clean vodka or tequila creates a digestive tonic with a slight buzz. It supports gut health while avoiding the dehydration spiral most cocktails bring. 4. Dry gin with mineral water and amp. Citrus gin is made from herbal botanicals like juniper, coriander, and citrus peel, many with anti-inflammatory effects. Pair it with mineral-rich water and lemon for a crisp, low-sugar drink that hydrates while it refreshes. No bloat. No fog. 5. Sake is rice-based. Fermented alcohol is low in histamines and sulfites, 2 compounds that cause hangovers and headaches. Sake has been consumed for centuries in blue zone cultures and, when enjoyed in moderation, supports a gentler drinking experience. Let this be a reframe. This isn't about fear. It's about function. It's about the life in your years, not just the years in your life. Because at this stage, every decision you make about what goes into your glass is a vote for the person you're becoming, not someone who gave up pleasure, but someone who chose presence over punishment. She didn't quit drinking. She started drinking with intention. And that right there is the beginning of a new kind of freedom. She stood in front of her cabinet, staring at the half-finished bottle of wine like it had betrayed her. Not because she didn't love it, but because she'd finally learned the truth about what it had been doing to her body. The fatigue, the fuzzy mornings, the subtle anxiety creeping in at night. It wasn't just stress. It wasn't just getting older. It was what she was pouring into her glass and what she wasn't. But this chapter, this moment, this is where the story changes. Because once you know the difference between depletion and nourishment, you can't unknow it. And when you start to sip with clarity instead of confusion, something amazing happens. You feel it. That first night, she swapped her usual nightcap for a longevity cocktail, clean tequila, a splash of pomegranate juice, fresh lime, and sparkling mineral water. She didn't feel punished. She felt powerful. She didn't miss the burn. She noticed the clarity. By day 3, her sleep was deeper. Her dreams more vivid. She didn't wake up dragging through her morning tea, but alert, rested, and sharper. She didn't cut herself off. She gave herself a better option. She didn't stop drinking. She started choosing with clarity. And you can too, starting right now. Tonight, replace one drink. Just one. Choose one clean alternative we talked about earlier. A dry organic red. A clean botanical gin. A crisp glass of sake. Mix it with meaning, not just habit. Then write down how you feel tomorrow morning. Did you sleep better? Did your joints ache less? Did your energy last past 2 p.m.? Track it. Feel it. Own it. This isn't about fear. It's about feedback. Your body isn't yelling, it's whispering. And for the first time in decades, you're listening. So here's your first micro-action. Try a longevity cocktail this week. Something clean, fermented, antioxidant-rich. something that supports your liver rather than burdens it. And don't keep this shift to yourself. Invite one friend to do it with you. Send them this video. Call it the Sip Smarter After 60 Challenge. Say, hey, I'm trying something new. Want to feel better with me? Because you're not just changing what's in your glass. You're changing what's in your circle. And that changes everything. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It helps more seniors like you discover life-changing health tips, and it helps us keep creating them for you every day. But most importantly, visit us at thegoldenyearsrx.com. That's TheGoldenyearsRx.com to join our free community of seniors who want to stay strong, independent, and full of life. You're not here because you gave up pleasure. You're here because you finally stopped giving away your power. This isn't about never having a drink again. It's about what kind, how much, what it's paired with, and most importantly, how it makes you feel. That's the real transformation. You don't need permission to feel good. You just need direction. And today you have it. There's something powerful about pouring a glass and not flinching, about clinking your glass without guilt, about reclaiming celebration as something sacred, not self-destructive. For decades, alcohol has been painted in black and white, either good in moderation or bad for everyone. Especially after 60, many of us were told to just stop. Quit. Give it up if we wanted to keep our hearts, our minds, or our mornings intact. But the truth we're finally stepping into is this: you didn't need to quit drinking. You needed to quit the confusion. Because here's the real transformation that's unfolding, not just on your plate or in your glass, but in your identity. You're no longer drinking to forget, to numb, or to please anyone else. You're drinking with clarity, with confidence, with care. You've shifted from social shame around alcohol to socially confident, informed choices. It's not about what the label says, it's about what your body says. And you're finally listening. You've learned to swap sweetened liqueurs for clean, crisp spirits, to rethink the low-calorie cocktails and go for real, whole ingredients, to trade the foggy mornings for sparkling sleep, to keep the toasts, the birthdays, the laughter, without the baggage. You've stopped asking, can I still drink? And started asking, what's worth sipping for? And with that question comes a new chapter, not just in your health, but in your community. Because you're not alone in this journey. There are thousands of adults over 60 who, just like you, didn't want to live in restriction. They wanted wisdom, flavor, vitality, celebration. And they found it by joining us. So now I invite you in. Join our free community where thousands of people are learning how to sip smarter, live longer, and reclaim celebration without sacrifice. Inside, you'll get weekly healing swaps that support liver health and longevity, support from others who've said goodbye to shame and hello to balance, insights from wellness experts who get what aging with grace really looks like. This isn't a club for teetotalers. And it's not a pass for overindulgence. It's a place where you can raise your glass and still rise the next morning feeling strong. Because guess what? You didn't give up your wine. You gave up regret. You didn't stop celebrating. You started choosing how. So whether your favorite glass is red, clear, golden, or bubbly, this is your moment. Not to withdraw from life, but to sip it slower, smarter, and on your own terms. Come join us. Reclaim joy without punishment. Find energy without confusion. And celebrate the next chapter with a glass you're proud of. Click the link below to join our free longevity community today. Because your 60s and beyond deserve better than just quit. They deserve intention, flavor, and freedom. Let's toast to that. If this video gave you even one new drink to feel better with, hit the bell button. Because we're not stopping here. In our next video, we're revealing so-called gut-friendly snacks that are actually aging your metabolism, slowing your energy, inflaming your belly, and muddying your clarity after 60. And of course, what to eat instead to feel light, sharp and strong again. The next glass, the next snack, the next chapter could change everything. What's coming next might just surprise you more than this list of alcohols. Let's take a breath together, because if you're still here, watching, listening, it means this wasn't just another list for you. It was a moment of clarity, a soft but powerful shift. Maybe you've already picked the one alcohol you'll let go of. Maybe you've circled your next intentional sip in your mind. Or maybe, for the first time in years, you're not afraid to ask your body what it truly needs and listen. Every day, we return to this sacred space of clarity where age is not a warning sign, but a wise teacher, where we're allowed to enjoy food, flavor, and, yes, even a drink, without shame, without withdrawal, just wisdom, just truth. We've been taught to fear our bodies as we age, to feel like health is slipping through our fingers. But what if every day, just by watching, we could pick up one truth, one food, one route, one new knowing that says, you're not broken, you're rebuilding. That's the gift of this channel. And if you felt that today, even for a moment, comment down below how this video helped you. Because your health is not just in your doctor's office, it's in your fridge, in your glass, on your fork. It's in this moment, right now, where you chose to stay curious. And curiosity, that's the root of longevity. So hit that bell button like you'd raise a toast to your energy, to your choices, to this beautiful, wise, radiant version of you. Because longevity isn't poured in fear. It's brewed in wisdom. You didn't just watch this to be entertained. You came here because something deep inside you is stirring a knowing that how you treat your body after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about permission. Permission to reclaim your rhythm, to rewrite your routines, to unlearn the guilt and relearn the grace. This video wasn't about fear. It was about freedom. Freedom to say, I can enjoy a glass without losing clarity. Freedom to ask, what actually supports me, not just numbs me? And maybe for the first time in years, you realized that you don't have to give everything up. You just have to start choosing better. Not to impress anyone, not to fix yourself, but to honor this one beautiful vessel you've walked through life in. And that's the real aftershock, isn't it? Not the withdrawal, not the brain fog, but the realization that you were never broken, just misinformed, just misguided, just waiting for someone to hand you the truth wrapped in compassion, not criticism. So here it is again, one final time. No more restriction, no more shame, only clarity and celebration. Because this isn't about alcohol. It's about what kind of life you want to pour for yourself from this day forward. Maybe you'll swap your nightcap for a longevity cocktail. Maybe you'll track your sleep and smile when you wake up sharper. Maybe you'll raise your glass next time and feel proud, not punished, because now you're sipping with intention. And that, my friend, is a revolution. She didn't change her drink. She changed her story. So, if this video helped unlock even one new possibility, don't let it be the end. Let it be a beginning. The next time you open a bottle, open your heart to joy, to healing, to being the woman or man who finally says, this is what I need. And I choose it consciously. You're not just a viewer now. You're a voice. You're a guide. You're part of a generation redefining what it means to age with elegance and energy. And we're right here with you, glass in hand, clarity in mind, and community at your back. Here's to you. Here's to wisdom. Here's to what's next. Cheers. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It helps more seniors like you discover life-changing health tips, and it helps us keep creating them for you every day. But most importantly, visit us at thegoldenyearsrx.com. That's TheGoldenyearsrx.com to join our free community of seniors who want to stay strong, independent, and full of life.